I know that having been educated on the topic by Dr. Geoghegan, you will have realised by now that not all those who supported the union were villains, although quite a lot of them were, and not all those who opposed it were heroes, although a much smaller percentage of them were.
Sir, may I present to you the Golden Circle, the progressive and democratic men who have wasted away in order to bring the much desired union that seeks to improve the relationship between the Isles of Britain and Ireland, and shall strengthen the union to the very core.
Again I warn you, do not dare to attack the Constitution, it is above your power.
Hear, hear.
We must ask, what makes this renewed union measure such a menacing threat?
But what is its cause, I ask you? It is, as with most things, religion. And Europe has been for many centuries divided into prods and papists.
They can preserve their liberty, yet they can increase their power.
What we saw were my third and fourth year history students reenacting the debates over the Act of Union. So they were the debates that would have taken place in this very chamber in 1799 and 1800.
The Irish Parliament was not seen as working very well, and the British Parliament wanted to incorporate the Irish in with them and run it off from Westminster. Obviously this caused huge havoc in Ireland, and then tensions started to rise on both sides, and it was one of the most heated debates that I've ever read about anyway in history.
We're here obviously in the old House of Lords, the original Irish Parliament, one of the oldest Parliament buildings in the world, in fact.
They were told that they had to destroy both chambers, the House of Commons and the House of Lords, so that it could never be used as a parliament again. And the bank renovated the House of Commons chamber, but they very wisely left this chamber intact, and that's why we still have the tapestries dating back from 1733. We have the chandelier from 1788. The room is intact. It's exactly the same as it was back in the 18th century, and so for the students it brings a period of history alive in a way that talking about it in a classroom never would.
This is a way of making students engage with history in a very, very real way. They are sitting in the chamber where this debate actually did take place, and the opportunity to do that really, I think, shows, you know, it's innovative teaching at its very, very best. The students get a chance to really understand the subjects about who they are talking about, who they are supposed to be reenacting, and also about the kind of the ideas and the themes that were really dominant during the time, you know, and in the day.
I think undoubtedly it definitely improved our understanding of the time. The fact that we sort of were all getting into individual personas, we all took on different characters. I was John Fawcett, Speaker of the House, so we had to research their arguments as opposed to just making up our own arguments. So we were able to get a better grip on specific arguments at the time, and also specific characters at the time that we could potentially use in essays and exams and stuff.
Well, Judge Hardiman has always been a very enthusiastic supporter of the student experience, and also has a huge interest in history. It was in fact his interest in Daniel O'Connell that got me involved in that area. So he's someone who's always, in previous years, he's chaired debates we've done in the Royal Irish Academy, and it's being able to bring in a kind of a celebrity guest that really gives it an added experience, because if it was just the same old teachers, the students would just see it as usual event. But if you bring in an external figure, it adds a bit of glamour to it, and it suddenly means that they take it much more seriously than they might otherwise.
Well, I was quite nervous about doing it and sort of dreading it, but once we sat down, everyone got into it. There was no one who sat out. Everyone really put their all into it, and I think it was the best thing we've done all year. I really enjoyed it.
Well, the students have always said that they're terrified in the lead up to it, but when they write out their assessments at the end of the year, they always say it was something that helped develop their confidence. Because in Trinity, we think that you shouldn't be just developing writing skills and analytical skills. You should also be helping people to develop arguments, develop positions, and be able to express them in public. So it's about these transferable skills that you want people to be able to take a range of skills off to whatever they go to work in after they leave Trinity.